If I was humanity, I would find a way to somehow exist under two natures, one for myself and one for the divine. I would believe the one that benefits me the most, even if only shortly, is the truly good one. And the one that tries to better the entirety of humanity was the one that was evil. If I was humanity, I would exalt myself so high above our enemy that there wouldn't even be one in the first place. If there's nothing to fight and there's nothing to run away from, there's nothing to run towards, there is no threat. If I was humanity, I would take natural orders, things that feel good, and I'd systematize them and capitalize them. If I was humanity, I would pervert sex, meditation, prayer, love, honesty, truth, so that all of those things can be redefined by the way that I feel. I would invent a way to inject those ideas into my brain instantly. They make me feel good, therefore they are good. If I was humanity, I would invent my own ideas, my own truths, my own things to love, my own ideas that overlap any and all celestial being. If I was humanity, I would push the divine away, so much so that it becomes less and less obvious until the divine has to come forth and die to even have a chance to be with him. If I was humanity, I would take the person who's claiming to be from the divine and execute them. I would take the prophets and systematically kill them. I would take the witnesses and execute them publicly. And I would celebrate when they were dead in the streets. If I was humanity, I would wait until the last minute to try and save myself when I realize I'm going to either be cast into eternity or stop existing, or I would have to go through a cyclical existence. If I was humanity, discovering science would be my new god. Even if science is the tool that God uses, if I can't see it, it must not be true. If I was humanity, I would invent something so beautiful and so holy so that those who are confined within marriage and those who aren't, those who leave and those who cheat can broadcast their sexual, adulterous, and fornicative acts across the world. If I was humanity, I would extract things that God made and begin consuming them in my body in order to make myself feel good. If I was humanity, I would make up words to create a self-definition and call my identity, even though it has nothing to do with me. It's better than identifying with God. If I was humanity, I would make up my own rules, my own laws, and I would make most of those have to comply with what I believe in. I think if I can invent my own truth, then I don't need a God in the first place. If I was humanity, I would tear apart anybody that tries to tear down or change those rules and those systems. If I was humanity, I would be so afraid of pain that being wrong can never be a possibility for me, so I'd isolate myself, or the people who are trying to prove me wrong, or even think of me as wrong in the first place. If I was humanity, I'd make a system so that the self-absorbed and insane can climb to the top while those who are truly exalted stay down in the pits. If I was humanity, I would beg God to prove himself, and once he finally does, or anybody who proves him, I would call them witches or warlocks or sorcerers, hang them, crucify them, execute them, shoot them, whatever it takes to validate my own already predisposed belief. If I was humanity, I would destroy myself because my own nature collapses in on itself when left to its own devices. If I was humanity, I would have everything to repent for I would be in constant rebellion, and I would know it. If I was humanity, I would have one foot in heaven and one foot in hell and spend the entirety of my existence trying to reach heaven. If I was humanity, I would dread the full sight of God and run away from it, knowing that I was in the full domain of God. If I was humanity, my soul would quake, my spirit would tremble. I would try to invent falsehood to run away from God, even though I know there is nothing I can do to get away from the truth, that there is no place that I can go. There is no outside of the universe. There is no love, no mercy, no chaos that I can bring to God that would make me worthy of his grace. I would yell to the clouds the very prayers that I was once indoctrinated with. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us the day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And let us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. But I would know truly that it was all for naught, that it meant nothing, that it didn't come from my heart, and I wasn't in active reverence, if I wasn't in fear, in tears, or in dread, that it meant nothing, if I was humanity, I would be in constant fear that I wasn't doing enough, constant hatred that I didn't do anything to earn where I am today. If I was humanity, I would rather die than exist between heaven and hell. If I was humanity, the uncertainty would kill me. That's what I'd do if I was humanity.